Over 2 centuries have passed since Vaelor Sand, the founder of House Starfell, was born. His dream of uniting Westeros under one banner of his dragon-riding family stands on the edge of reality. Now, King Caswyn Starfell has shattered the Good Brother dynasty, claiming the Crown lands after a brutal dragon duel, seizing not only the capital, but every dragon the false king possessed. Yet Caswyn knows true conquest is won not only by fire and blood, but through hearts and minds. As peace holds for now, he waits, preparing his daughter, Princess Daisy, to finish what Vaelor began. This is the finale of the Starfell saga. Once again, and probably for the last time, welcome back everybody to our Game of Thrones series. In the previous episode, we had just taken the remainder of the Crown lands. We've moved our capital up into the Red Keep now. We have captured all of their dragons. All that is left to do is to take the war to our nemesis, King Dunstan Goodbrother, in a draconic conquest of the remaining kingdoms inside of the Iron Throne. As of right now, we still have a truce with the Iron Throne, but the second that is up, our conquest will begin. I am going to invest a bit more in my army here, seeing as though we're coming towards the final battle. I have them all at 10 out of 12 at the moment. Honestly, I might continue to increase them and just ultimately have our monthly maintenance get nice and close to our overall income. We could attempt to capture Eoragon here. He's actually inside the Crown lands. Let's give this a go. We will send in Darian, our Dragon Keeper. And Darian was killed. Another man in the long list of Dragon Keepers that we have had killed from out beneath us. We will appoint another one, William here. Welcome, my friend. Interestingly, the head Dragon Keepers always have really good stewardship. I think it's just whatever traits they tend to come in with, but very often they end up actually being my steward as well. We have actually got some dragon eggs back off of Darian, seeing as though he was holding them for us. We may try and actually give these out to some young children inside of our dynasty and see if before we actually finish this run, we can actually hatch a dragon egg, or have somebody in our family at least hatch one. Our youngest daughter here is 11. I've just taught her dragon lore. I feel like it might be too late. Most of the time, the Targaryens end up hatching and bonding with their dragons literally when they're like 3 and 4 years of age, but maybe we give her a dragon egg on the off chance she's able to actually hatch it. We'll give you the green one. Maybe you can make something happen there. Oh my word, it happened instantly. Dragon joined court, Ignerion here. This is strange though. It says Darian has approached me excitedly. Maybe because he was technically the previous owner? He definitely does not approach me excitedly and say all this considering he's dead, but one of our eggs did hatch. Okay, we've actually done it though. We've birthed a dragon. It is majestic as well as a fearsome worm with a huge health boost and plus 10% size. Tremendous. Oh no, don't do this to me. We've gained the trait ill and we've become even worse after our maester's treatment. Worsened disease symptoms for 1 year. That is not good. Oh, it's because our maester is terrible, but I don't believe I can ask for a new one until he dies. Oh no. Oh my word. 59 years of age and Caswyn of Dorne is dead. Died from being ill. He survived so much, including 2 dragon duels, and ends up dying from an illness. Princess Daisy ascends to the throne, a petty and spiteful woman. Her vassals will need to tread carefully around her. Alright, so the good news at the very least is that we are a dragon rider as well. That would have been problematic if we weren't. But we are now in control and we need to sort the realm out. So our powerful vassals here don't actually hate us that much. They don't really like the fact that we're a woman or that we have short reign as well as being uncrowned, but overall, not as bad as I thought it would be, to be honest with you. I'm going to grant Bramsford here that we previously held over to Silas here, who is our cousin, friend, and now vassal, and also a dragon rider. The good news for us, though, is that now means no more truce with the actual Iron Throne. We can declare our war whenever we like, except we can't because we're at an activity already. What activity are we possibly at? Oh, it looks like I inherited on the way to actually attend a grand tournament here. All right, we'll take part in this for the time being anyway, but I'll try and organize the realm while we are physically at the tournament so that as soon as we return, we can immediately launch our war. For our lifestyle, I'm kind of interested in moving into martial since that we know we'll be at war and leading troops. We are already in stewardship, but I think we're okay in terms of economy. I think I might actually move in here and do the chivalry focus for that prowess as well. Mainly for the fact that you got to bear in mind that she's not just going to be getting those bonuses from Marshall for troop count and whatnot. I actually need her to be a good fighter, seeing as though it's very likely that she will be leading these troops on Dragonback. Now, theoretically, she shouldn't come up against much other dragon riders in resistance, but you gotta be careful all the same. We can also attempt to capture Yoragon once again. Here we go. William, off you go, my friend. Well done, William. Well done. Fantastic. More and more Starfell members taken to the skies. Remember what I said about how the females are usually proactive? Of course, it's our sister who has just taken flight on Idonax. Okay, we are finally back from that tournament. Not much to show there, to be honest. We were basically just sitting around and watching. Before I hold court, I would like to crown myself, actually, if we could do a coronation, please. Bear in mind, I'm playing on a version of Crusader Kings that is before the actual Coronation DLC, so this is just what was here before then, instead of the Game of Thrones mod. This is significant, though, insofar as we are the first Starfell member to ever actually be crowned inside of the Red Keep and sit the Iron Throne the same day. All my family members keep demanding the crown off me. Absolutely not. Let the father bear witness, we will now sit the Iron Throne. We have lost uncrowned ruler. We were crowned by the High Septon. Nobody needs to talk about the fact that our ancestors actually killed the High Septon on top of Dragonback before. That's all forgotten history. Don't worry about it. We're all friends now. Aemon Targaryen, though, has taken to the skies on Forge Song. This is the dragon that ate another dragon the same size of it when it was only 7, so that's a little bit worrying. And as a matter of fact, seeing as though he's a vassal inside of the Iron Throne, this may be the one dragon that they have as a realm. So we may end up meeting Aemond out there on the battlefield. I was just about to say, now that I've been crowned, we can finally go to war against the Iron Throne. Except the Iron Throne is now in rebellion. King Dunstan here is defending against none other than Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen. Extremely outnumbered in terms of troops. She does have a dragon, but I don't think one dragon's going to be enough to make this happen. It is noble of the Targaryens to try and get it back at the very least. And I'm kind of surprised more vassals aren't on her side, considering this is the king that lost the Crown Lands. You might think that it would make sense to attack the Iron Throne while they are in rebellion, but it is absolutely not the case because their troop size absolutely balloons during a civil war. I think it's to do with how the actual realm splits apart and then they're called in as allies, which is not normally how it works in Crusader Kings, so we will let this play out and we will deal with whoever is left in control. In the meantime, we may as well hold court for the first time, sitting on top of the Iron Throne. And the first thing we are asked to do is settle a dispute between two other Starfell members, Lady Myria and Quincy Starfell. Listen, we are House Starfell, but we are from the Dane dynasty, so you must win it by the sword. Lord Quincy wins. Congratulations, my friend. You get the county. We'll do some local alms for the weakened religious community. We will restore a Riverlanders monument for some cultural acceptance. And my business here is done. Death of a Dragon Rider. Lord Aeron Strongfire Targaryen of Bearstone. Interestingly, that was actually Aemon Targaryen's father, which is rather surprising. I think what's quite strange is that you technically are a vassal of the North. They were both dragon riders, but I'm not sure why when I looked at the actual Iron Throne itself, why they weren't included in here. Strange one. There could be more dragon riders than we actually see that we may have to deal with later. Our other sister has also taken to the skies on fair cracks here. Great to see. We will rinse the High Septon for another 1,500 gold, as is tradition. Oh, my player heir and son wants to ride Prumiax. Oh. From my perspective, I'd rather not take the risk, but I feel like Daisy would certainly want to continue the line of Dragon Rider. So all right, let's do it. Well, that worked out tremendously. Our son immediately took to the skies on the Oregon. All he needed was some instruction. That now takes us up to 7 tamed dragons and 5 owned ones still waiting to be tamed. It's time for another Dynasty Legacy in here. Realistically, I think it's time we continue down the Dragon Lord tree. Up next is Bonded Blood. For bonding scheme success chance, and Dynasty members receive increased experience for successful deepen bond schemes. I feel like this is really starting to lock us in as a dominant dragon riding family. New nickname? I'm now known as the Brute. I haven't even gone to war yet. Where'd you get that from? Never one to shy away from violence. You draw little distinction between physical, social, and mental harm. It all cuts the same in the end. Too true. Oh, fantastic. We've inherited a war of the Driftmark claim on the High Lordship of Rosby. That is the duchy right next to us here. Strange, though. What exactly am I being attacked by here? It looks like there was another member from House Valarian that wanted to rule instead, but he's unexpectedly found himself now in a war against me rather than the previous ruler. Oh, come on, don't make me fight you. I would happily offer you a white peace here just to end this. You didn't mean to attack me. I know you didn't. You are going for it anyway, though. Let me raise my men at arms and we will just insta-siege you down. We've gained the trait pregnant. That is not ideal. It's going to slow us down quite a bit. Little bit afraid there's an army of 14,000 here that are raiding Driftmark at the same time, but I think if we can get the capital, it should be fine. They did attack us recently with a few thousand troops. Wasn't too bad to handle at all. Another death of a dragon rider, Sir Mathan Waters here. Interesting, a bastard of House Targaryen. But again, if this man was a dragon rider, why the hell wasn't this dragon showing up earlier as a dragon inside of the actual Iron Throne? Having said that, we will try to capture him to make him ours now anyway. William, in you go. Well done, William. That's how it's done. Alright, the siege was not enough to get us to 100%. I don't really want to mess around and accidentally fight these raiders and possibly lose all of my men at arms, so I think I will white peace at this point. We did actually manage to pick up a dragon egg in the siege, so happy enough with that. Okay, it is time to prepare for war. Let us make sure that we have the right outfit on. There we go, that's more like it. Well, the Iron Throne has finally finished up its civil war, which is great to see. Bear in mind, we still have his wife in our prison as well. But with that, I believe it is now time to draconically subjugate King Dunstan here. We can only attempt this once. We have 7,000 gold behind us. He is over 300 in debt. The troop count is relatively similar, but it should be noted we have about 7 times the amount of dragons. All right, let's do it. Probably for the last time, let's declare war. Now, this is an interesting one because theoretically, his capital... Oh, well, it was over here. Did he move it? So it looks like that King Dunstan here has actually moved his capital to the Tower of Glimmering inside of the actual Iron Islands, which does make sense because House Goodbrother really made a name for themselves in dominating islands across the world, both up and over here, as well as in the Stepstones. Ultimately, I feel like our goal here should be to try and bait them into an actual battle. So I might just try and siege some of the counties next to our capital, and then depending on how that goes in terms of war score, maybe eventually make the journey over here and go for his new capital. What is nice is that we can call in all of our house members. We do have some adventurer bands here. And we can also call our dynasty members, including Captain Hugh Dane of Scoundrels Point. We will let the Danes in on this glory, and we will reward them for it. I'm going to raise my troops up over here. The other reason why I want to mainly focus on just sieging down around our border here is if I do decide to get in ships and go somewhere else or go for his capital, he could very easily do the exact same. Bear in mind, he's literally standing on an island. He could just very easily stay exactly on the coast, come all the way over and around, could even siege down Dorne itself, but could even also just make his way up here and go straight for the capital as well. I don't really think he'll do that, but our realm is in such a weird shape. I don't really know where he'll go to. He could go across the narrow sea and start sieging this for all I know. Oh, and look at this. Princess Rhaenyra of Dragonstone has just died herself. Princess Arya takes over. She is also a dragon rider though, so still a dragon strength there. Oh no, this is bad news. In the middle of declaring war against him, he's involved in another civil war. This time, it's the Stormlands leading. Now again, he should dominate this with all of these troops. I'm just so afraid that he'll also use them against me. I'm going to take a risk here, and I'm going to send my army all the way down across the coastline, straight over to his capital. I'm not sure exactly who of value we could take here outside of his heir. If we could capture Riga, that would be tremendous. Obviously, this is an insane risk, as we are leaving our capital relatively exposed, but I'm hoping he just tries to deal with his own civil war before anything over here. And at least if our troops are on the ocean, we can't be attacked by an abnormally large force that are involved in the civil war. So part of our army has landed here. The rest are on their way. Thankfully, his troop... I was about to say thankfully his troops are not here, but they are here. Okay, everybody group up immediately, please. Rather than leading this myself, I'm actually going to put my son in control because his dragon is actually phenomenally better in terms of combat effectiveness. I'm not sure how our armies got so far apart, to be honest, but hopefully maybe one or two of them can actually reinforce this battle. Okay, here we go, here we go. We need the dragon to hit. We need the dragon to hit. There it is, there it is. Absolutely dominated. Oh, 92,000 men just attacked me and I didn't have time to change my commander. Oh boy. Come on, dragon support, dragon support, dragon support. Where's the roll? Where's the roll? There it is, there it is. Keep it there, keep it there. Yes! 30,000 of ours routed versus 61,000 of theirs. And that was like 90,000 troops versus 40,000. Absolutely phenomenal. We just finished sieging the capital as well. We've captured Riga up to 89% already. Let's spread out and start sieging the rest of this down. I will use my next martial perk. Thank you very much. And they are attacking again. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let's see. What's incredible, what's absolutely incredible about this is, I don't know if you just saw that, but there were troops from the Iron Throne attacking. And then I could have sworn that the other troops were troops in rebellion to the Iron Throne, and even they jumped in to assist. Come on, where's the dragon? Where's the dragon? There it is. There it is. There it is. Look at that. That's tremendous. It's so satisfying knowing that the dragons is really the differentiating factor here, because that's what we worked so hard to get our family dominant in. And it's paying off severely here. In spite of the fact that we have to fight significantly more men than we thought we would, our dragons are still enough to close the gap. And there it is, 100%. I will enforce my demands, please. Thank you very much. In your capacity as Queen of the Iron Throne, you will now be assisted by the Grand Maester, as I should be. So be it. Disband all. And now when I zoom out, it looks the exact same. Oh my word, I don't believe this. I think because he was in rebellion at the time, the North, the Reach, and the Stormlands have remained independent. Oh my god. The craziest thing is that the Reach here is actually like an empire title. Probably because he's like independent, so they're acting as like empires now. That's perfectly fine. We will do an Iron Throne forced vassalization on each of these, and we should wrap it up extremely quickly thanks to our dragons. Here we go. You couldn't just make it easy for us and stay together while I was subjugating everybody. No, you had to all break apart, didn't you? That's fine though. Evidently you needed a demonstration as to why we are the dominant force in the Iron Throne. There it is. Trickle in. Trickle in. There we go. That's 50% already. And same again. Down along the coast. Siege down the capital. Once again, we will put our son in control of this. And I will have you use your dragon. Oh, and look at this. Our dragon, Matarion, brings forth a clutch and has laid 2 dragon eggs. Phenomenal. Now, we've just finished this war against the Stormlands. I will enforce my demands there. That is you back in control. Meanwhile, though, Riga, that we had in our prison, has just taken to the skies on her dragon. So, very good timing there for us, sieging that down, because otherwise, we could have possibly had her on Dragonback trying to stop us. Next up, we will immediately do the same to the Reach over here. I'm going to raise my army in Dorne over here, and then, oh, we can't go down that river. All right, well then start sieging this at least. We'll make our way over to the actual capital. We can siege at an absolutely astounding rate here. So we've grabbed all of these. Let's actually move back and attack now. Here we go. There it is. There it is. I don't blame you for rebelling against House Goodbrother, but Dragon Lords are back in control of the Iron Throne. Oh, finally we get the actual event with these dragon eggs. We've just had our son Prince Jerome be born, and now we can actually choose to give him a dragon to cradle with. We will give you this one. You will cradle together. There it is with the capital siege down and a valuable prisoner in tow. We can also finish this war. That is the Reach, now our vassal, back as they should be, which leaves only... Oh, I was going to say the Vale, but no, we have the Vale. It leaves only the North. Hullen Stark. The Starks have been good to us, to be honest, throughout our run. I do hate to go to war with you, but I can't offer vassalization because you're technically an empire, so it has to be done. To be fair, I am being kind to them and that I'm just forcing them to be vassals. I could just draconically conquer the whole thing and take it for myself. We found a part of their army over here, but the ruler is leading it. If we could capture him, that would be phenomenal. Let's see, get in there, make it happen, make it happen. Nope, we did get to 42% though. Could we maybe head down this channel here for as far as we can? We can head out there and siege White Harbor and then up from White Harbor towards their capital. We managed to capture them again here. I love how we're like hard countered, but with the dragons, it just doesn't even matter. What the hell is this? Ambush in the bog. War declared. Blessings upon you and your house. It seems there is no recourse for our dispute other than to settle it on the battlefield. Who are you? Rally the troops. We have to siege down our own capital to deal with this. What in the world? That was so strange. They ambushed our army like while we were in the north. For some reason it was showing their capital as my capital, but regardless, we've won. I've never seen that before. I didn't know your army could just be ambushed along the way. That's quite a cool system though. Now, honestly, we took a tons of attrition just to get up here, but I think it makes sense. As per usual, our son in control used that dragon, my friend. Now, Winterfell has actually been one of the harder forts to take here, but we have just 3 months left, and I imagine that should be enough. Amazingly, it actually wasn't, taking us only to 63%. I think we'd have to go crazy sieging here. There we go, there we go. I split my army in half and just had them use their dragons everywhere to finish this war. We're finally at 100%, and there it is. Oh my days. Oh my god, Dragonstone's independent as well. Okay, there's one more war to go. Okay, we are almost there. We have restored the Iron Throne in almost every single area except for Dragonstone, which has remained independent. So ironically, our last ever fight in this run is against the Targaryens anyway. This time though, I will actually draconically conquer the Kingdom of Dragonstone. I don't want them still holding it. We are going to head straight to the capital and start sieging this down, and we're going to force them to come and fight us if they want to. Oh no! To be fair, it was too much to be true. I had my son using his dragon on all of the major sieges thus far, but at long last he has been killed. It looks like Eoragon was killed by a scorpion bolt during the siege, and my son has died in the process. He did not deserve that, but to be fair, I don't think we could realistically expect to have this many wars and not expect to lose at least one of our family members. Our brother, though, has another fantastic dragon on Baelifax. He can take over. The siege only actually took us to 9%. I think we're going to have to take the fight to them. I think in spite of your dragons, your 9,000 men versus my 131,000 should be fine. There we go. We finally caught them. I think she will have a dragon in this. Yeah, it looks like we've already lost a dragon, was killed by Queen Aria of Dragonstone and her dragon in a dragon duel. So she has actually killed our uncle as well as his dragon on the top of hers, but I think we still win this battle. Indeed we do. We will continue to siege. I think we actually might have wiped their army, to be honest. There it is. My men are absolutely starving. That took so long, but we finally managed to take Dragonstone as well. But Vaelor, the Poet Sans dream... Oh, hold on a minute. Is this one piece that I missed? Come on! You know what? I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm going to break the truce. I'm actually going to break the truce we have because this is not right at all that you get to continue having Dragonstone over in Whitegrove. Where else do they have land? Where else do they have... Oh my god, they held on to this as well? You're kidding me. Oh, wonderful. Now a pirate crew are attacking us in the Stepstones. We'll have to deal with that as well. There we go. We've finally gained those titles. Let's go down and deal with this war as well. I can't end the series while I'm at war. It just wouldn't be right. There we go, 100% dealt with. Let me disband all and keep the game on pause before something else crazy happens. At long last, I can finally say that Vaelor Sans' dream has been achieved. Vaelor starting as a bastard inside of Astermine, founding House Starfell within the Dane dynasty, a house that is now dragon riders and rules the entire Iron Throne, as well as multiple lands across the Narrow Sea, as well as Valyria itself. The Targaryens have been dealt with, the Good Brothers, the Martells, all of the other famous dynasties now kneel to House Starfell. I had an absolute blast playing inside of this mod pack. A massive shout out to everybody who helped me as we progressed through, understand how different things worked and whatnot. It was super daunting telling a story inside of this mod, having never really played it in depth before, but you were all super helpful, super nice. We will definitely return to this mod pack. So much more stories to tell, so much more areas to explore. However, the next modded series on this channel is actually going to be inside of Elder Kings 2. I ran a poll recently on the channel between Elder Kings and Lord of the Rings as the next mod. Elder Kings came out on top, so that will be the next series, but don't worry, we'll definitely get to the Lord of the Rings mod as well. But keep an eye out for that one. If you have any specific ideas for different stories to tell or people to play as in that mod pack, let me know down below. As always, thank you all so much for watching this video and this series. I really hope you enjoyed it. A massive shout out to all of our channel members helping to support the channel and everything that I do here. And as always, a very special shout out to our Emperor's Hands tier, Infaustbread, and Kenny IDFK. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video.